Who doggy? Happy Friday evening. Hello, Gabe.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me.
Yes.
I was feeling inspired after watching some Ideal Org video that was leaked to me that I've shown some of it, but I was inspired to have a little casual chat, and I thought maybe of all the people who I'd like to have this chat with, you are top of my list.
Oh, yay.
And I'm going to switch this over because I want to be on this side. It just
Yes.
bothers me to be on that
I
side.
know.
That
I
way
was feeling awkward.
I can look at you a bit more directly this way.
Yes.
The way I'm laid out. So just wanted to say hello to a few people. I know we only got a few people in here right now, but I'm sure we'll get more.
Yep.
Nico Squirrel. I think he meant to say hello, but
Ellie.
hello. Helly. Helly. We got Nathaniel Christopher, who is the very kind person who joined me last Sunday for my protest against Vancouver org. And so thank you very much for joining us. We got Karen, a consistent viewer of mine at the very least.
Hello, Karen.
We got Steve in New York City. Ciao. And we got Dawned on Me, Marilyn. We got Helios 2425. Curious what 2425 refers to. Born Ancient, hello from Wales. Awesome.
Ooh.
And it looks like Steve says he audited Times Square today. Both videos.
Wow.
There is so much content to watch. I can't keep up with it all.
I can't.
But I will definitely take a look at that, Steve. And then one more here. Kyla L from Maple Ridge. Not
hello.
Thank you guys for joining us. And of course, hello to the replay crew whenever you're watching. Today's going to be a fun one. We're going to talk about Ideal Org fundraising. And the insanity, the levels of insanity that they go to pull in flows, as they call them, and money from all the different people. Gabe,
oh God,
you have a lot of experience with this, both as a public and a staff member, right?
Yeah, it's terrible.
I know it is terrible. Actually, it's insane because they go through all this work to give all this money, and then, oops, no one shows up. They become Ideal Morgues, which I saw for myself because I went into, I audited the Portland org. I seen it. It was empty except for the dedicated Scientologists. And then, of course, the Seattle org. I was in there for over an hour. Not another person came in. And the deputy executive director was on reception. Like, this is not a big booming org. So
sad.
It's insane. And we have another few more people. Let's say
quick
coming in. We'll get into some stories.
Sure.
We won't spend the entire time talking. He's from Alberta. Nico Squirrel, nice.
Right.
Matt Elliott from your neck of the woods. We got Oregon in the house. Cool.
There's also
we got Rowdy Family.
What's that? Hey from O-Town. Is that Ontario?
Probably Ontario. I don't know. It sounds like a pretty cool place, though. O-Town.
O-Town.
All right, guys. Before we get into stories, two things. If you guys want to ask some questions, if you want to ask some questions, please throw it in the chat. Make it easy for me. Please put question in caps, as well as any comments. Secondly, this video is going to have a bunch of copyrighted music, so it's demonetized. Enjoy. So we're going to be swearing, cussing up a storm, so get ready for it. But on that note, buckle up, Buttercup. If you guys want to support both of our channels, we both have Buy Me a Coffees. But that's all I'll say about that. Cool. So Gabrielle.
Yes.
As a public, what was it like to go to these Ideal Org events?
Well, just to correct you a little bit, Jeffy. I
Mm-mm.
was both a staff and a public. Basically, when you go to these events, you become more or less a public.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. I maybe attended a few as a non-staff member, but when the Ideal Org stuff came out, I was mostly a staff member. And then magically, poof, you turn into a public, and you donate money.
Even the Sea Org members do.
Yes, the Sea Org members do. Yeah, the networks, I won't get into all the names of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the Sea Org members do. I mean, some Sea Org members have like gotten inheritances and stuff like that. But
but even worse than that, though, Gabe.
Hmm.
And someone's asking us to swear. So the fucking video that I have here, like literally one of the other Sea Org members donates his week's pay, and he donated his seniors' week's pay. Like these are the people who are running the Ideal Org program and fundraising, and they're donating their pay. It's insane to me. But
yeah, it's the mentality, right? It's just like it's like all these silly things that are drilled into your head. You make it go right. You're a Thetan, and if you apply the conditions, you can get more money. It's like if just apply Scientology and you'll have more money. And I mean, people give up their rent. They take out second mortgages. They sell property. They do nutty things. They do things like rack up a credit card like I did.
Yeah. Or like Bob, whatever his last name that was on the video I showed before. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm sure you can find it on my channel, but he's hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit card debt.
Oh, right, him.
Like Bob Twelfhoven, I think his name, Twelfhoven.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he's telling people, just rack it up. All you have to do is pay the minimum payment. It's like, are you insane? Like
that's what they do.
It's 19% interest a lot of times, sometimes more. If you're paying the minimum payment on hundreds of thousands of dollars, you're bankrupt, my friend. Like,
yes,
you're screwed.
Yes.
So anyway.
Yeah. And I don't think a lot of people realize that it's hi Kim. It's the little guys that donate the most.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of little guys that throw a lot of money into the pot. I mean, I know ours was about 35,000, and that was 35 grand just to the Ideal Org. To the Ideal Org program. That doesn't include the IAS and all the other little silly things that you get roped into. And I wasn't a big roller. 35 grand. And this is like other staff. There's staff that have given over $100,000. And like they don't get paid to be on. You're paying, all your money to this stuff.
I remember once donating my staff pay and future staff pay. Now, I don't think I can't remember if it was for the Ideal Org or the IS, but needless to say, I didn't fulfill that obligation.
Yeah.
But like that's the like the excitement that goes through your head when you're at these events, and we're gonna see some of this. I got some video I'm gonna show. Unfortunately, it's from a Zoom call, but it's the exact same thing. Where we're gonna go over the games that they play, as well as all the love bombing that happens in these events. So,
oh yeah.
Anyway,
then I'll tell you about my $10,000 donation.
Yeah. Well, let's break into that now. What's the most you donated at once? Do you remember?
At what that was the 10 grand when
10 grand.
When like in one fell swoop, my Chuck was at Flag. Yeah. So he's doling out the money at Flag. And I think that probably cost him about maybe 15 grand when he was down there.
Yeah.
And I got this, the story goes, I got this brand new credit card.
Uh-oh.
And they gave me, how stupid, they gave me a $10,000
Mm.
limit on it.
Did they know you were a Scientologist? Did they realize how dangerous this was?
But, and it's just burning a hole in my pocket, and I knew, and I knew that there was gonna be an event, and I thought, "You know what? I really wanted to give more." It kinda put us into a new bracket, into a new, whatever,
Status.
status. Yes, that's right, it's
Yes.
all about
Statuses are
status.
all the rage in Scientology.
And don't forget, it's like there's a lot of hype around it, right? Like you look at this shitty org that is in Vancouver, and it smells, and it's nothing works. The air conditioning doesn't work. Half the toilets don't work, and it's like you really want a new building, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so we're in the thick of this event, and it's like, who's next? And people are putting up their hand, and I was sort of holding out because I knew in the back of my head that Chuck was not going to be impressed. It was actually finance was the bane of our existence in our relationship.
Yeah.
He was a saver, and yeah, I mean he made the majority of the money. So I mean, honestly, I think I don't even know if I was even full time on my cleaning during the day. I
Mm.
think I was trying to do my cleaning and also trying to do the objectives sort of at the same time. So you're not working full time. But anyways, so there's a lull. It's getting close to the end of the night, and that's when people start to get a little bit antsy. Like it's around 9:30, right, on a
What time do
Saturday.
events start?
The events usually start around 6.
Yeah. So that's like 3 hours in.
6:30. So you're already 3 hours in, and it's like at the beginning of the event, there's a quota set, and then there's this flip. What are they called? A flipboard,
The
or
flipboard with the
yeah, the
papers?
easel that has the flippy paper on it. So and and you raise your hand, and usually there's like an MC, right? So the MC is like the motivational dude, and they'll read like an LRH quote to get people inspired, or they'll try and pick on somebody. So anyways, we're like 3 hours into this, and I'm like sitting on this credit card, and I finally put up my hand, and I said, I'll do $10,000 if three other people do $10,000.
Now, why did
So
you say that? Why did you say you have 3 other people?
because you challenge people. This is how it works. You challenge other Scientologists to meet your donation.
Mm.
And there was 2 more that match. So it actually then it turns into a game. Then everything shifts to this game. Like somebody will say, "Okay, I'll donate $500 if 5 more people donate $500."
Yeah.
So then, they have to keep track of everybody, and they put their hands up, and blah blah blah. So yeah, so that was and I tell you, I had like this a physical reaction when I had to give over my credit card, because it's like you do have to do it right away. Some people they like pledge, they like,
Right.
and then they don't pay. So it's usually somebody has to go after them
Yeah.
to pay. But
That's a
being
good
the
point, though.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what happens to those people when they pledge but then don't pay? Like, what's the ramifications of that?
there isn't any. Most people do pay though.
Yeah.
I've not really heard of anybody not paying. I know there was this one big whale. I wish I could remember his name. He passed away. He's from the States.
Mm.
And he pledged $1 million.
Oh, wow. To
$1
Vancouver.
million to Vancouver, yeah. Oh man, I wish I could. He was like a big whale. He was a very rich businessman,
Mm.
and he went to one of the big events. I think it was like when Nancy Cartwright was here in
Bart
Vancouver.
Simpson.
Yep, the voice of Bart Simpson. And she actually never, we were supposed to, we donated to at that event too. I think it was about $500. And we were promised a signed picture. Never got it.
What?
Burn.
You should send them an email. I want my picture.
I should. But yeah, he pledged $1 million. And I remember the person that was left in charge of collecting it. And it took a long time to collect. I don't actually even know, because I stopped working for this person. That's Hillary, actually, Hillary Rockwell. So I don't know if he ever paid. Michael Bayback.
I knew it was a Michael. I couldn't remember the last name. Bayback. Yeah,
Bayback. Yeah, he was a mover and shaker, a big whale in the Scientology community. So
yeah,
most people who are in Scientology, especially from the States, would know Michael Bayback.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of articles on Tony Ortega's blog about him. If he's a big whale. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's there's so many aspects to these stupid events, right? Like I said, these quotas that they have to make, and you don't leave. You stay until these quotas are met. Sometimes it's like $100,000, right? And there's very few people there, and they made it mandatory for staff to attend these events. So, and then what happens is they would sneak out because it was getting so late, right? And we had to be back on post by like 9:00 the next morning.
Well, and you did a full 8-hour shift.
Oh, yeah.
Already, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's insane. And you work 7 days a week.
Yep. Yeah. I was really stressed.
Yeah.
And lack of sleep.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Well, so that's pretty typical fundraising. Have you heard of, and I'm going to show you guys a picture that someone sent me here. This is from the other day.
Oh.
Have you heard of staff and Ideal Org people just like selling stuff that they make to raise money?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys probably remember from a couple lives ago the OT8 Scientologist in Toronto, Gwen Van, definitely not Queef, Gwen Van Cleef. It's really hard not to say Queef when I say her name. I really want to, but I shouldn't, because that's not her name. But I guess her and someone named Jackie Binda are making these bags, knockoff Chanel. I guess I shouldn't say knockoff. Chanel 22 inspired bags.
Inspired, isn't that
so lovely? This is number one. So there's pictures of all these bags. I'm going to show you number one. So this one here, this purple one, I'm not a bag guy. Just for the record, I couldn't tell you a Chanel or a Dior or whatever. I know some people can do that. Does this look inspired by Chanel 22? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. But then we got, so that one's only $40. That seems like a steal if it's like a Chanel 22 bag.
Yeah, it's a designer bag. You'd think there'd be more.
I would assume, they made these. I assume that this is a pretty good deal. But the one that I found was really funny is this backpack for $100.
Which one is it?
I'll show you the backpack. This backpack.
Ew.
I don't know. Does that look like it's worth $100 to you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You could probably fit lots of stuff in there. Maybe an e-meter, some books.
It's got that goofy leopard skin stuff on it.
Yeah. Hey, maybe this is where she keeps her OT materials.
No, they have to have the briefcase.
So funny. But anyway, so this lady is making these bags, and she's an OT8, and this is what they're resigned to fundraise is these shitty bags. but they won't do custom orders. You can get more pictures if you want, and all money goes to Ideal Org events. So
here's my guess on this, right?
Okay.
She probably doesn't. She's OT8, so she's probably broke as hell.
Yep.
She has no other way to contribute, because when you are on the ship doing OT8, they make you commit to some big contributing project, like
right.
Ideal Org
Or
or
Truth About Drugs, perhaps?
or staff. A lot of them, like
Mm.
we got it. I remember getting a staff member, OT8 staff member.
Who's that?
Oh God, he's an auditor. He's a real quiet artist.
Oh, Ross Monroe.
That's it. Yeah,
There you go. Yep.
he was
That's
my
funny. It
auditor.
popped right in there.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so he was pretty much bamboozled into being on staff. I mean, he'd been on and off staff, right? And so and
He
yeah,
was
I
pretty
remember
wishy-washy. Not gonna
well, he's
lie.
an artist, right?
But no, I know, but he was like he didn't have the eye of a tiger glaze in his eyes. Like he did not have the fixed, dedicated glare of a dedicated Scientologist.
That's
That
right.
was
He
my
was
opinion.
actually a very soft-spoken man, very gentle, very sincere. I really liked him,
Yes.
except for the fact that he sec checked me and it was horrible. And his wife went through the same thing when she got on finished 8. So that's like your prize, right? It's like you commit. You have to commit to something big. Looks like he is just digging through her closet to me.
Yeah, totally. Very good observation, Smooth Steve.
But so yeah, that's probably what's happened, right? Is they have to do something. So she's trying to do something
Yeah.
to contribute to planetary clearing.
Well, keep in mind too that this is the lady who's infiltrated Toronto schools.
Right.
So that's predominantly like anything I've been sent about her. It's always truth about drugs and stuff
Right.
like that. And this
That's the
one just
thing.
like was stupid. I just had to
Hmm.
share it, right? Like how pathetic is the fundraising going that they're resorting to selling shitty knockoff bags,
Yeah,
right?
and
Like
it's off policy,
it is off policy. Well, the whole Ideal Org thing is off policy.
more or
Not
less.
that we
Yeah,
care about policy, but
exactly.
L. Ron Hubbard literally wrote policy saying, don't do this stuff. Don't
Don't
fundraise
fundraise.
for nothing.
Exactly.
It specifically says that. And he says, solve it with Scientology, solve it by selling more auditor training and more auditing.
Yeah.
Do not do this. And that's why there was no fundraising before LRH died. And as soon as he died, that was it. That was like the IS was formed and, all this stuff and all this, just give us money.
Yeah. Well, the IAS came about because of that big lawsuit, right? So
The
they had
Portland
to
one,
raise money for it.
Yeah. But anyway, that just opened up the floodgates. But this Ideal Org stuff is such garbage. Yeah. It's hilarious. Gives me lots of content, I can tell you that.
Exactly. Shitty bags. Well, we did. I know
shitty bags for sale.
One of the public in Vancouver. He's a fairly famous artist, and he's done artwork for Walt Disney, and I think it was like Martin Sheen or something like that. Anyways, he did these beautiful paintings, and they were raising money for the Ideal Org. So I guess what happens if you I can't remember exactly how it worked. I think if you donated the money for it, or if I guess you're purchasing it, and then he would actually give the money to the Ideal Org. So then it would show up on his donation as however amount of money.
So he's stealing donations.
Yeah.
What a scammer. What a scammer.
Well,
That's
not
awesome.
stealing donations. He's actually not even, what he's donating is his art.
Yeah, I know.
And he's being credited for it. So it's kind of lame, though. It's just lame.
Well, his status then goes up because it's another, $5,000 or whatever they have to donate. Yeah. And it goes onto his status and not the person who donated the money. Right?
Yeah.
So he paints a painting.
Yeah.
And then just moves up in status without actually giving any actual money.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Yeah. That was Paul Scherster-Biedoff, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it got approved and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know how, but his art's beautiful. That's we actually have one of them. I think he did prints, certain amount of prints.
Mm.
Anyways.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good artist for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But the Scherster-Bedoffs are big family of Scientologists. Big family.
Yeah.
Cool. So I wanted to share a few clips. They're not too long, but a few clips from this leaked Ideal.org Zoom meeting. And I will say before I get into it, Gabe, I am so glad that I did not have to sit through, what is this, over 3.5 hours of Zoom meeting at an Ideal.org. Like, being in person sucks, but imagine having to sit in your computer and like have to do this. Or imagine having to be the fundraiser that had to like hype people up.
That would not be fun.
No. And if you've seen like any of the video that I've already leaked, these people are fucking crazy. Like this one lady, I think her name is Sarah. Holy shit, does she have the biggest crazy glare in her eye? when she's talking about, hey?
That's the zealot. Remind me to tell you a story about the look in that look.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's fucking crazy. Like she refers to David Miscavige as our leader, and like it's insane the look in her eyes.
That's so cringy.
It is cringy, and she's full cringe. You should see the hat she's got on too. It's insane. But anyway, let me share this with you. And actually, I'm gonna
see her eyes. Let's look at those eyes.
So just to set this up, these are two other Scientologists who just donated some money, and this clip is going to be fairly quick. It's just to show the cringe in the last command that they give, and the last command is what you've already said: who is next?
Who's next?
So they just gave some money, and someone else is supposed to respond. Who is next?
I hated those words.
I know.
Oh my god!
Let me know if you cannot hear this, because I think I shared it properly, but who knows? It's Friday.
No worries.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
So now, before you go, can you please give us the next command?
Who is next?
Wait for it.
Okay, the game is in launch. They're doing their silver humanitarian status. They want 10 other status upgrades. You can achieve your status. You can launch a game. Play Lynette and Ed's game. Let's go. Who's next?
Who's next?
Who's next?
Wait, can you guys hear the crickets? This goes on for 12 minutes.
And nobody donates?
Nobody donates. So this is what Scientology is being put through. This is from like October, I think. November, maybe last year. So this is
where's Crazy Eyes?
Oh, she's the lady in the
throw it in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Raise your hand. You can just
with the t-shirt.
Oh, Ryan. We're ready for you.
I want to donate. Nobody's saying anything. Now keep in mind, this is just shy of 2 hours into the event.
Wow.
2 hours. And they just start playing this like music to try and hype people up. But honestly, this goes on for 12 minutes.
The music, that was always important to have the music. And that was Larry, my brother-in-law's job, to get music going and get everybody hyped up and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they would do stupid things, right? They would do like themes. Like there was like what's that? What is the Caribbean? The oh my god, I can't think of his freaking name. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh yeah. Jack Sparrow.
Yes, Jack Sparrow. So people had to dress up like that. There was all sorts of stupid things that you had to do, right? I was never into it. It's like, who the hell has time to make a frickin' costume? You know what I mean? It's like, really, shut up. I'll just like go in my plain clothes. It's just like
you can go as a decrepit slave for Scientology.
That's right, with a ball and chain.
Yeah, exactly. So on that note too, though, like, and I don't know if I have access to the clip right now, but Theta Novus, who's in Australia, Cass, you can see our interview. She has a YouTube channel. She used to work at, I think, the Melbourne org, and the executive director and someone else were like dressed up like a witch for Halloween, some Halloween event. And there's video of her going, donate now or we'll come to your door, and like being all scary and stuff, dressed as a witch. But it's true, they will come to your door, and it is fucking scary, right?
Yep. They would do tours if so then there's also all the what is called pre-regging. So they get money in advance and then they announce it to get people inspired. So yeah, that's especially if there's like a guest speaker or something coming to do the event, they will insist that you pre-reg. So these are just like the little events that go on. But then there are the big events, the big ass events where they go all out, and it's like Nancy Cartwright came, that other guy we just talked about,
Michael
Bayback.
Yep. Alfredi Johnson.
No, he never. I don't remember him coming.
Chili B.
Chili B, yeah, he came. Yep. And what you call it, Travolta's wife when she was still alive.
Kelly Preston,
yeah, Kelly Preston came. She was stunning. I mean, that was the one thing. And she wore a very short dress. So guess who donated the most? All the guys. And she would go and she'd sit on their lap and give them a kiss. Oh yeah, she major.
I mean, I guess John Travolta's probably not giving her any anyway, so he saves that for his masseuse.
Jeez. Oh yeah, but scandalous. I mean, so not only do you have to donate at those events, you also have to buy a ticket. So I think the tickets were like $100 or something in some of these places, right? And I mean, it was dinner and all this other kind of jazz. So yeah. Anyways, those, and I mean, we dressed up. These were like formal affairs.
Yep.
So, and that's where the big money was made.
Yeah. And, you know, if you guys ever get the opportunity to go and protest an Ideal Org event, especially a big one, do not pass that opportunity up, because you will see a lot of Scientologists there. Just saying. Cool. So OT8.
Oh,
this is like the level, right? As an OT8, would you expect somebody to perhaps know that they're, I guess, being in such present time that they would know if they were muted on Zoom or not?
Oh no.
Let's find out.
Oh no. Oh, look at them all.
Yeah, so this is the Zoom call. This is all the people that were there. They're all Scientologists. But this one lady, Lorraine, she is a big-time fundraiser for Boston. And this is one of the orgs that is trying to raise money. And, well, I'll let you guys watch.
Lorraine, where's Bob?
Oh, there she is.
Wait, you're muted. Or is it I just can't hear her? No. Whoops.
Whoops, says the OT8. How do you know she's OT8? She has her fucking cert right there.
Oh dear.
And so these are the guys that are, and this is why it's like it's so funny, because they're so incompetent, these people who are running this. Like, they're the Sea Org members themselves are so out of touch with reality, and they haven't been in the real world for a long time, so they don't know things. I'm going to carry on with this video, and you'll see the absolute pain that these Zoom calls must be for Scientologists, just for a little bit longer here.
Okay.
Hi.
Sorry. Hi.
Oh, she's still muted.
No, we can hear her.
Technical difficulties.
Okay.
Ryan is muted. What's
No
wrong?
one's
We were having,
Everyone's
like,
muted.
You know, we'll talk to each other.
We can hear you,
like,
Lorraine. Go ahead.
So our Boston group collectively.
The
just
microphone is
together-
on. But is Ryan's microphone?
Oh, can you not hear me?
We can hear you. Yes, we can hear you.
Sarah, can you hear me?
Confusion.
Never mind. It's technical difficulty in the control room.
Okay.
It's just so awkward. I had to
Amazing.
share that because this is an OT8. This is like the pinnacle of Scientology. What she has achieved. And look at her. She doesn't know that she's muted.
Was it cause over matter, energy, space, and
Time,
time,
thought,
but not computers.
not computers.
Not
No,
computers.
you gotta call Geek Squad for that one. I just thought that was hilarious, so I had to show it. This
Priceless.
video is so full of gold, just so full of gold.
I can see the lady up in the corner with the T-shirt on, the black T-shirt with the white lettering.
Yeah, she's crazy eyes.
She's the crazy eyes, eh?
Yeah, and I'm gonna release because there's so much of her like talking and gushing. I'm gonna release just a full compilation of her talking crazy talk because it's full on Train to Crazy Town with this lady, and it's fucking hilarious.
Well, you know, I can't imagine. I've never had to go and be on stage to motivate people, and it's a really hard job when you're trying to get money out of people. I mean, at the best of times, I don't. Yeah, there was. I mean, sometimes it would get ugly. You know, sometimes somebody would start getting like, you know, ethics, like, what's wrong, you can just make the money, you can postulate the money, it would get pretty heavy, right?
We'll get into that.
They tried to get it, you try to keep it light, right? But sometimes they'll quote some sort of nasty thing from LRH about, how horrible the planet is, and if we don't do something, they'll read KSW or something just to scare the shit out of people, right?
Yeah, they do.
And that's
they do bring it
motivation.
to a heavy point for sure. Sometimes, like,
yeah,
it's hey, if we don't do this, the planet's gonna be gone, like doomsday type stuff.
Yeah.
Not in those words, but that's the same concept, right?
Fear
in
tactics.
fact, it's like universal doomsday.
Yeah.
For eternity. So, just rack up your credit cards. Why don't you?
Yeah.
Anyway. So this
Pretty
next
much.
clip, speaking of crazy eyes, so this is the male crazy eyes. His name is Sean May, and he's a fundraiser for these orgs. And I would like to share this video with you. This is about a 2-minute long video, but just enjoy Sean, Mr. Crazy Eyes.
This is good.
Sarah, I know we're waiting for an answer, but I first of all, Ryan did like a little drill at the beginning here where like someone announced something and we all just went freaking nuts. Okay. And first of all, Sarah just announced an incredible like speed drill game. Did everyone hear this game, by the way? Raise your hand. See all the
This
hands?
is the game.
Oh my God. By the way.
Yeah, so this is important to know. Like, so speed drill is actually a thing in Scientology where you do something fast. Like, it's working about this. It's not the actual quality of it. It's just getting it done fast. And the point of doing a speed drill, especially in this case, is to not let thought or considerations enter the equation. So you don't want to think like, oh, well, I shouldn't do this because I got to pay my bills, or all my other credit cards are already racked, so I shouldn't donate money. Doing it fast removes any thought from this. And it's very important that people don't think about what they're doing in Scientology, because then it won't make sense. So he's going to carry on and try and get people hyped.
Where's Tito? Good to see you, Tito. Bam. I see everyone. Good. So listen, she's announced a game where she's literally throwing in with whatever org like comes up with 25,000 Liberty Bells cheesesteak.
Oh, and I want to make one point too. They never refer to money in these things.
That's
They
right.
replace dollars with coquis, which is like a frog in Puerto Rico, because that's the org they're
Really?
yeah. This is what they're fundraising for. There's 3 orgs: Boston, Puerto Rico, and Philadelphia.
Okay.
So the money going to Philadelphia is cheesesteaks, coquis for Puerto Rico, and Liberty Bells for Philadelphia. Boston is
That's so stupid.
lobsters. It's really fucking stupid, but it's interesting though because money's never mentioned in this.
No.
Did you take us off there, Gabe? What'd you do?
What happened?
I don't know what you did. You're fucking up here.
Are we
There we
okay?
go. All right. Oh, now
sorry.
now we're not laid out well. This is getting embarrassing.
Okay.
Nope.
I did
that's not what I
something
want.
wrong.
Ah.
It's
Whatever.
okay.
I know it's okay, but I want to. There we go. That's what I
There.
want. This StreamYard thing. Anyway, let's carry on with Sean here. And it's crazy.
Okay.
Lobsters. So, guys, we first of all need to give it up for Sarah for creating this game. And number 2, we gotta get on board with this game. It's incredible, and it sounds like, Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong, this is kind of a time-based game. I'm looking at my watch, Sarah. Is that right? So
Yes.
I heard 22. So it's time-based, guys. So we gotta like take our idea of what it's gonna take and like double, triple it and make it bigger and bigger so that we can play literally Sarah's game, her and Timothy's game. So guys, let's first of all give Sarah a big acknowledgement and let's jump on this. Woo! Unmute yourself.
Okay, so what they're doing here, they're about to play this game. They're getting everybody hyped up. And the idea now is everyone's going to start donating like crazy. Now, let's find out if that happens.
Come on, go nuts. Howard Glazers just threw down another 100 coquis for Puerto Rico.
$100.
Go, Howard!
Howard! There's
my
games afoot. We can launch games within games, but guys, we got a timer on this one. We got to jump on it. Who is next? Who's going to put down that postulate?
Who's next?
Roll with it. You know?
Who's next?
Who is next?
Can we get some cricket sounds, please? And of course, they're playing Taylor Swift. I'm definitely getting demonetized on this one. Holy shit!
Now
I didn't realize that Taylor Swift's going to come after me for sure.
Oh my
There you go,
god.
guys. It just keeps
There you
going.
go.
It just keeps going. It's
Oh Lord, love a
hilarious.
duck.
But yeah, I am getting 100%. Actually, no, this video is not monetized, so it's fine. It's probably fine. Taylor Swift's probably gonna make some money off me though, so you're welcome, T Swift. Call me.
Yeah, like she needs it.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, she's doing pretty well. Hey.
Yep, she definitely
Oh
is.
my god. Okay, there is one more. Is there anything you want to say about that, Gabe?
It's just ridiculous. I don't know how you can actually even get enthused over a computer, over like this chat thing or with Zoom or whatever. It seems so weird.
Yeah.
But they're desperate. They gotta keep, they gotta keep making this money. They gotta keep sucking the money out of people. It's pathetic. And there wasn't very many people there. I don't know if you guys noticed. There was, and that's like for 3 orgs.
Yeah, this is put on by Flag.
Right.
And Smooth Steve, yes, this is because of COVID that this is happening. But please keep in mind, this was from last year, November, I believe. So it's not because of COVID only. What they're doing is they're holding these events as like an extra thing to raise more money, for anyone who will show up. But I think there was about 50 or 60 people on this Zoom call.
60?
If I recall. I think that's what I was told. Yeah. Something like that. It wasn't that many. I mean, keep in mind, this is like all of the United States showing up. So
yeah. That's pathetic.
Yeah, exactly. And they don't raise much money. Spoiler alert.
Oh, really?
Well, the really funny thing too, like you see they're talking about games and stuff.
Yeah.
There's games within games within games.
Yeah.
And I would have to like get a fucking spreadsheet out to figure out if any game actually gets completed or not. Right? Because one person will be like, I'll do $500 if 20 other people do $500.
Yeah,
But then
exactly.
the next person who donates can't do $500. So they say, okay, I'll do $100 if these many people do $100.
Mhm.
So did that first game get completed? Does that guy even have to donate?
No, and sometimes somebody would split it up. Like if they were doing $500, say like somebody would say, well, I can't do 500, but if somebody could go in on it with me, do 250 and I'll do it's just like,
So convoluted. Like, just give us your cokies, buddy. That's
your cokies.
Give us some lobsters.
So oh
It's
God.
funny. Now, speaking of artists who are doing really well, but not really.
Oh no.
This is funny. Actually, before I play this, I want everybody who's in the chat right now to tell me what song you think is the most popular song for these Ideal.org events to get people to donate. Throw that in the chat right now. I'm going to give you 1 minute while Gabe and I talk about something else. What song is the most popular song to get people to donate? Do you know what songs Vancouver played? Like, do you remember anything jump out at you?
They play Queen, We Are the Champions.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
What about Eye of the Tiger?
Yeah, I saw that.
No, people aren't throwing too many in here, so I guess people don't have any idea.
Thriller.
Thriller, there'd be a good one. Money, money, money. There we go. ABBA. That'd be good. Money, money, money. Yeah, another one for money, money, money. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Yeah.
Patsy
Crazy by Patsy Cline. That's a good one. That's a good one. Well, you guys are all wrong, I'm afraid.
We're wrong. Thanks, Jeff.
I am going to
wrong.
share with you the song.
Yeah.
I requested DJ.
Oh.
The DJ to play Who Let the Dogs Out, which is the best song for any sort of crazy speed drill. And let's do this fast and furious. Who Let the Dogs Out?
Ready?
Put your donation in the chat right now. Go, 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 go.
Dance, white boy, dance. Look at this group of people.
Oh God. That's just so wrong in so many ways.
I know. Look at them. Wait for it.
Easy.
And look at Sean in the top corner, just going nuts. Oh my God.
Oh God.
It's so
funny. Horrible.
I know.
Ugh.
But this is why, and I said it before, this is why I'm glad I'm not in Scientology at this point in time, because these are fucking embarrassing.
It is horrible.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for those people.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh well. Yeah.
I've got way more clips that are just as embarrassing and I'm going to be showing on my channel. So if you guys are not subscribed yet, make sure you're subscribed, because I got lots of fun stuff coming up, including a full compilation of Crazy Eyes Sarah.
Crazy Eyes.
Gushing on David Miscavige. It's insane. Absolutely insane.
I mean, just to sort of get the reality of what goes on here. These people are fanatical.
Mhm.
The Crazy Eyes is it's common. It's like that zealot crazy look. And I'll give you this is just a wild thing. So my nephew, he did some tours in Afghanistan and Iraq, and he's seen stuff where people would run towards them, and they had bombs strapped to them. And he said they would have this look in their eyes, and it was just like this crazy, freakish look that was because they were so crazy and such zealots, right? And fanatics. I remember him saying to me, he says, those are the exact same eyes, the look in the eyes that I see in a lot of Scientologists, including his father.
Yeah.
It freaked him the hell out. And he was like, I mean, he's a second gen, more or less, right?
Yeah.
So that's the fanaticism that is in this cult. I mean, I don't want to take it to the dark side, but the programming, the brainwashing is so deep, and they will keep giving money no matter what. They will keep getting dragged in. You know, they won't even have money to actually do Scientology services because they've given so much money to either the IAS and now the Ideal Org.
Yeah.
It's complete insanity.
I know. And like these fundraising events have been going on for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like that's insane to me.
Yeah.
That it just keeps going. And I don't know where these people get the fucking energy. Like this Sarah lady, she's hyped like all the time, you know, and she's so emotional. It's just nutty.
Sorry,
MK Ultra next level. Yeah, exactly.
It's
like,
scary.
Anyway, it is scary. But you know, they're doing it for the greatest good. And like these people here, the Sea Org members are like directly, this is such an important program that they're directly under like the biggest people in Scientology right now, you know, who are directly under Dave Miscavige
pushing it.
And so the pressure to do it right, to be uptone, to just get it done is so high, you know, like they have to do this, but there must be just so much pressure, and eventually someone's going to have to crack, right?
Yeah.
Or they just find these people who are so fanatical and have so many, so much energy and enthusiasm that they put them in the post like this because they're easy to control or they're naturally energetic. I don't know how they find them, but there's a
personality.
Yeah, but people in the fundraising field specifically for Scientology, I've noticed, are like a next level enthusiastic about it, you know?
Next level nuts. Yeah.
I like this one. Uptown Girl.
Uptown Girl, yeah.
Uptown Girl. We should make I wish I could sing. I can make a parody of that, but
I can sing.
Can you? Well, maybe we should collaborate on something. Anyway,
I've started some stuff.
I see that. Well, why don't you take the show there?
Oh my God, I don't know how to do this. I'm all stressed out now.
Oh my God. Okay, so click on the show.
The starred.
Yeah, go to the starred and go click on the show. This is live hatting, folks.
How's this
one?
Yay!
That's a pass.
Yay!
Question. Dawned on me. I just don't understand how the orgs pay their bills with so few people using the cult services. Can you explain? Well, Gabe, you're probably the best to answer that question.
I don't know how they do it. You just do it. You don't have much of a choice.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been times where the electricity got shut off. Was it the electricity or the heat? I think it's mostly the heat. You also have to understand that, like, these guys are professional salesmen, like not trained in like the normal sense. They're trained in like these cult tactic selling techniques. I don't even know how to, and they're very good at what they do. So, and I mean, I even managed to do stuff. I mean, you resort to anything, right?
Yep.
You even call people and say, look, we need to pay the bills. Donate towards your next service or whatever, right?
That's
And
very
that, and
OTR though.
oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But when you need to, when when you need to make sure people go in session or go on course, desperate people are what is it? Desperate times called for desperate measures, or whatever that saying is.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know what else would happen too, and I'm sure you did this. I know I did. If it gets to a certain point, you start regging the staff, because you go to someone who has a very high purpose level, and especially ones like, for example, Shauna Pratt. Peter Byrne would do stuff, and he would donate towards books or whatever to handle the situation themselves.
Yeah. I mean, there was always somebody on staff with me that was very good at selling. Like I had a class 8 auditor who, he knew his stuff, and we would just call somebody in, and we would sit them down and go to town on them, and basically tell them, this is your eternity. Yeah. I mean, it's like, I tell you, when I start to talk about it, I go right back to those moments, and I can, like, the feelings and all that kind of stuff. I hated doing it, but it was my job to keep those lights on and those doors open, and getting the people the service that they bought, right? Like, so if there's no lights on, an auditor can't audit, and a student can't go into the course room, and so
it's nutty.
you just do it.
Yep. And you make it go right, which is the slogan for Scientologists.
Exactly. You move mountains. You come up with very creative ways. Let me tell you. Here's the next question.
How did Sharon Werner pay for all of her training? It
Her
looks
husband.
like she's an OT8. Hey, what are you trying to say? Yeah, so her husband runs a fairly successful HVAC company in the Vancouver area. And her training, though, would have been paid for by the org itself, especially like the training that she's doing now. That would be paid by the org, so she wouldn't pay for that.
Right.
But for her OT levels, I didn't know she was OT8, but that's not surprising, because she's been OT5.
I'd like to find out. No, I like to
OT
find out where he got that information from.
Yeah. Well, Nathaniel, maybe you shoot me an email. Let me know. Shoot me a link or whatever you found this information from.
Yeah.
I'm interested. It doesn't mean anything.
No.
Right? Like, as you can see from this lady from the video I showed earlier, she can't even operate Zoom. Right? Like, there's nothing special about an OT.
Yeah.
Other than they have less money than they would have if they didn't spend the money
broke.
on it.
They're broke.
Yeah.
And her husband never wanted to support her. Let me tell you, this lady, she's not a very nice lady. She cheated on her husband many times. And I know
Sharon?
because I was the one. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Dish girl, dish.
Oh, she just like grosses me right out, and she puts on this facade and does these multi-faith shows or whatever.
Yeah.
She promotes multi-faith. She is so full of shit.
Yes.
And she covers up crimes.
Yes.
She is one nasty biatch. I do not like her.
Phil Helmer, she has had him do so much illegal stuff that he's not even allowed to go near a Scientology org anymore. He's like an OT5. He's been working for the Dirty Tricks department since it was the GO in Toronto, the Guardian's office, before Operation Snow White. Like, this guy has been working on screwing people's lives over for years, including Jerry Armstrong. He tried anyway. And yeah, he's not even allowed to go to events. He can't go to the org, nothing. All because he's done so much illegal stuff for Sharon Warner herself.
Yeah, he has to keep his distance. He is Mr. Fair Game in Vancouver. That's who they turn to.
He's the guy that causes it. Yeah.
Yeah. And Sharon knows all about the crimes and stuff like that, right? I mean, I remember trying to report this kind of stuff, but I don't have access to the evidence.
Yeah. Well,
you know,
it's all in the org. Every single document that has ever been made on Fair Gaming, anybody in Vancouver, probably tons of reports being written on me as we speak, and you as we speak. It's all there.
Yeah.
It would just take one law enforcement action to go in there and seize it all. But there's nothing you can do. Nathaniel, Chris, Phil's name is Helmer. Helmer.
Yes,
but
Helmer.
Good luck finding him.
Yeah, and just on Sharon, shit, I forgot what I was going to say. I remember. They have there's files on about everything. You have an ethics file, you have a pre-clear file that's all with all your auditing. You have a student file, and DSA basically has a dossier on everybody as well.
Yep.
So and nobody sees that other than DSA. I've never seen it, and I was in charge of ethics and justice. So that's how sneaky they are. They do not. And that's how siloed DSA is from the rest of the organization.
It's very secure.
Yeah.
There's literally, if you're not the DSA, you don't have a key, you don't have access. Period.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's another one.
Let's do it. Smooth Steve, what do you think the split is between donations of whales like Nancy Cartwright et al., or the smaller donations by public and staff? What do you think?
In my experience, it's mostly the little guys that have been paying the majority of it, like in Vancouver. I mean, you have your guys that have paid $100,000. Those are the little guys, right? Yeah. I think it went all the way down to, like, we had like a whole list of all the donors, and I mean, the least that was donated was like $100, and that list probably had well over 100 people on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And like in another video I released there from this Ideal Org video, I think Portland, the stat was it was 90% borrowed money.
Oh yeah, credit.
That's insane.
Yeah,
absolutely insane.
And this kind of dovetails with this one, Mandy Gonzalez.
I met Nancy Cartwright. She seems really fake and can't be a real person. She seems to be relying on her voices in social situations. Yeah, it's interesting. And she got in a lot of shit for using her Bart Simpson voice. She was calling Scientologists to reg money for the Ideal Org in Bart Simpson's voice. She got in a lot of trouble for that, I think.
Yeah, she did talk like Bart Simpson at the event.
Yeah. Well, what else has she done? Like what notable role has she had other than that? Right. So of course she's going to fall back on that.
Here's a little silly one.
Yeah. Thank you for making sure you showed this on Friday night. It's going to require a beer or two for me. Yeah. I mean, this isn't water, guys.
Do you see the name? May the force be with you.
Yes.
I like that. That's clever. What was this one here? Show. Come on.
Smooth Steve again. They make going broke and getting scammed out of your money for fun. Out of your money fun, yeah. Who let the money out? Yeah, it's crazy, hey?
Yeah. Oops, I just missed question.
May the force be with you again. With zero proof of this actually being real, how do people not see that it's a hoax? Not one person has returned for the next lifetime. Well, though, so people do think that they have returned. People have past life recall. Some people think that they were clear past lifetime. And
that was me.
Yeah, there you go. Like so many people do. And it's
well, I didn't think I was clear. It read on a meter and I was told that it read.
And e-meters don't lie. They're science or something. Yeah, it's delusion, right? Like, and you could be told something, and if it's really good, it goes to love bombing, you'll believe it, right? Because everyone has their ego, and some people's egos like to be pumped up more than others, and therefore
exactly.
it reads for them. So it's
like my ego, I got a big ego, let me tell you.
Right, I was just gonna say that.
Here's one from our Kim.
Hi,
question
Kim.
With the evolution of tech and certifications, cancellations, did the org bleed members? I think Kim's probably referring to like when they had the golden age of tech. They didn't actually cancel certs. They just weren't valid. They couldn't, they didn't actually cancel them. They said, or Miscavige said, that they had to upgrade. They had to do all the new technology before they could audit.
Certainty courses is what he called them.
They called them the auditor certainty courses.
Yeah. So in 1996, when he released the first Golden Age of Tech, I was part of the evolution to work on the materials there. But it would come out that if you were a grad 5 or a class 5 or class 4 or whatever, you would have to do the new drills that came out at that release. And they had this whole drills simulator that would pretend to, give reads and stuff like that, and do verbatim drills, which is where you literally read a full passage or sometimes a full policy letter to a wall for hours on end until you can say it verbatim without changing one word, without hesitating. Perfection, all kinds of these drills.
You go loopy doing that stuff, I tell you.
Oh, I know.
You do go loopy.
The hardest one, well, maybe not the hardest, but the most annoying one was the KSW points, the Keeping Scientology Working points, because some of them kind of seem like one's like hammering out of existence, and one is closing the door.
Yeah, knocking out
incorrect technology or whatever, and you're like, which one was hammering? Which one do you hammer? Which one do you close? Like, it's so annoying. Oh man, I hated that so much.
So they would have to do, they would have what is called a certainty course, because this was the whole, what would you call it? This is the whole why for auditors not auditing and not enough clears being made and all this other bullshit, was auditors did not have certainty on their auditing, and they couldn't call a floating needle and blah, blah, blah. So they revamped these all the auditing levels, and if you were like brought up to like grad 5, you would have to do all the certainty courses from 0 all the way up. So, and I actually think there was a certainty course for the other, like the professional TRs course as well. I think.
Yeah, I'm not
that
sure.
And the pro metering course.
Yeah, I mean, you would certainly
everything.
And you couldn't audit until you got it done. Like instantly,
exactly.
All auditing stopped.
Yes.
Now,
it came to a complete stop, which was a huge flap, because that's where orgs made their money. They made it from auditing, selling auditing. You don't make as much money from the training. So it was, and I remember because I was the ED, it was just like, what the fuck? Like, how am I gonna, what are we doing? Hey? And that's when I remember Chris Black, who was, he ended up in the independent field. He passed away. But he was pissed, and he wrote this huge KR. I found this out after I left, and I know other people did this too. He wrote this KR on David Miscavige. Imagine he wrote, and he got declared. It was just a matter of months, and this guy, he was like, boom, you're out of here, dude. He got declared.
Yep.
And a lot of people left. So Kim, yes, the org did bleed a lot of members at that point because people were really pissed because it was invalidating. They felt invalidated. That when
even if you were an auditor who literally trained under L. Ron Hubbard himself.
That's right.
You were now invalid. It didn't matter.
Right.
If you didn't do the Golden Age of Knowledge, Golden Age of Tech course, you were nothing, and you could not audit. You weren't allowed to audit. Things weren't canceled unless, of course, you decide not to do it, and then you get declared and everything gets canceled. But it's astonishing. I always find it weird, the whole cancellation of certs thing. If you're being declared, like, what do you care? Like, if you're still believe in Scientology and you want to continue auditing for whatever reason, and you get declared, what difference does it make? You're going to go audit anyway. What do you care about the organization thinks, right?
Yeah, it's just another way to control people. But the other part of that whole program, the Golden Age of Tech 1, was you had to call in all these auditors, and you had to put them on this, what's called a routing form that sort of moves people through all the different departments and divisions that they have to go to, like making sure that they get, buy all their training, make sure they buy all their materials. But their first step, get this, was to ethics, to write up their overts and withholds.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Like just to like stick the knife a little deeper, and give it a good twist.
Yeah. Fuck.
Because that was the assumption, right? So you wonder why people went bye-bye.
Yeah. I mean, people say it all the time, and I'll say it again. They just do this to themselves.
Yes.
Scientology is fucking themselves.
Yeah.
Like I told you guys I was going to swear a lot.
Yeah. We're just trying to speed the process up.
Demonetized me.
I'm not monetized yet, so whatever. I don't.
I know. I just, if you start swearing all the time, they don't play ads on your video. Anyway, not like I make much on ads anyway.
Yeah.
Oh,
anyways, there's one last one.
Okay, let's see it.
Okay, you can read that one.
Question is, because these older people pass away in service, do the orgs have to report this to the proper authorities or their records anywhere? I'm not sure what you're referring to.
I think like when I'm guessing that they're referring to like Sea Org members when they pass away.
Oh yeah.
Yes, they would definitely have to. Like, I don't know, they can't get rid of dead bodies. So they would have to report it. But whether they tell the family that they've passed away is a whole other can of worms.
Yeah, exactly. Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Gabe, this has been really fun. Not going to lie.
No, it was
fun. It's been a good way to spend a Friday evening while Andrea's out doing other stuff. I can hear my dog downstairs. So I should probably end this. And attend to him.
Yes, understood.
Is there anything that you would like to say before we end this interview or this chat?
No, it's been fun.
I always like ending with that because in Scientology, the last thing you say before ending a session, is there anything that you like to say before I end the session?
Is there anything you care to say or ask before we end this?
Before we end this session. So I just like to take the piss out of Scientology as much as possible. Not that it's difficult. Thank you, Alex, for being lovely. If you guys would like to support either of our channels, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes.
We're still working on getting Gabe to her watch hours for monetization. Be great to get that done. I am this close to 6,000 subscribers.
Ooh.
And I know that 40% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed. So please do subscribe if you are not subscribed. That's all I ask.
Yes.
And keep watching and keep hanging out with me. Gabe, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to send us out with a little bit of protesting fun from Vancouver. Have a good night, guys.
Right.
Nola, how's it going?
For fuck's sake.
For fuck's sake, she says. What's your post?
Well, what are you doing?
I'm not on staff, that's for sure.
You're definitely filming something.
Anyway, I gotta go because I'm gonna get in shit if I keep talking to you. You know that.
But doesn't that kind of bother you a little bit? That you get in shit for communicating with somebody?